3. All right, what's up, everyone? This is a new episode of Sports Harder coming at you live on this Tuesday evening for a special Victory Tuesday. That's we do Victory Tuesdays. We don't do Victory Mondays. So we're excited. We're going to talk about Major League Baseball because we didn't get a chance to talk about that because the regular season is coming to an end. We're going to talk about NFL, of course, and we're going to do our NFL picks of the week. I am your host, Maddie Lukewarm Ice, and my co-host for the evening, as always, is Chris the Gorilla Binder. Beard ready and to go. Sorry, I'm not in my regular sports gear. I just got off of work, so no Rams gear. He's only
rocking the power line.
There you go. Yeah, he's only representing his team. He's the only good fan. I'm not a big enough fan, I guess. I just not a big enough Rams fan to be able to support. So
I'm just proud that my team's 2-0.
Yeah, exactly. That's always a good feeling when you're 2-0 to start the season. So, and we can do our segment that we do every now and then of pretenders and contenders and see who is real in the NFL after 2 weeks and who we think is pretenders and is going to miss out. Because a lot of teams, some teams, they start off 2-0 and then they don't even make the playoffs, and some start 0-2 and do make the playoffs. So, I mean, it's very hard to come out of an 0-2 slump. At least past statistics have shown that it's very hard to get out of that slump.
And 2-0 teams, it's about 68% of them actually make the playoffs. So
he likes his chances. He likes his odd. I mean, he's a Vegas guy now, so he goes by the odds, So he's very, very excited about that. Well, let's start off with Major League Baseball then, and we'll get that out of the way. And then, of course, we'll get into all the fun football stuff like we always discuss. So right now in the American League, the Tampa Bay Rays are in the American League East. The Tampa Bay Rays are in first. They are 7 games ahead of Boston, 8.5 games ahead of Toronto, 9 games ahead of the Yankees.
The Yankees dropped out?
Well, I mean, I think they're still in the running for the wild card.
The wild card's a pretty close race.
Yeah, I figured we go over all of this first and then get into the wild card. And then the Orioles have officially been eliminated from anything. So, as go O's, yeah, you represent me so well. And then the Central, the Chicago White Sox are in first. They're 11 games ahead of the Indians. 11.5 games ahead of the Tigers, and the Royals and the Twins are officially eliminated. So 2 teams eliminated already in that division. And then in the West, the Houston Astros are 7 games ahead of the A's, 8 games ahead of the Mariners, 17 games ahead of the Angels, and the Rangers are officially eliminated. Let's look at the wild card. So the wild card right now at the top, the Red Sox are 1.5 games ahead of Toronto and only a half game from the Yankees.
So the Yankees are a half game behind Toronto for the wild card.
Yeah, for the next spot. That's right, because they do two spots.
Yeah.
So they're a half game behind that. The A's are 2 games back, and your Mariners are 3 games back. So those are the closest teams.
The Mariners have a chance. They got to win.
How long has it been that you've been able to say that the Mariners have a chance to make the playoffs?
Since Griffey and A-Rod were on the team.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been a long time.
Exactly. So what do you think about the Yankees always having these powerhouse teams, and yet they're not even winning the division? They always go out and spend all the money on getting all these top name players. They have all these powerhouse hitters, and they're still half a game out. I mean, half a game isn't bad as a wild card, but they're not winning the division. They're definitely not going to be close to doing that. So
no,
the Yankees were always the cream of the crop, and that's where you wanted to play. And right now the Rays are trying to go back again.
Yeah. I like it. It shows that money doesn't always win. I love that. I hate the Yankees so much, man. I hate them.
What about Jeter? I mean, come on. Even people who hate the Yankees love Derek Jeter, and he just got inducted into the Hall of Fame. He made a speech a couple weeks ago.
No,
So
I don't love Jeter.
no.
I don't love Jeter.
Oh my goodness. Just
Jeter's-
because he's a Yankee.
Just because he was a Yankee.
Oh
and
my gosh.
yeah,
He's such a good guy. He played the game the right way. Like he
Yeah, he
did
wasn't
everything the
dirty.
right way.
he wasn't dirty, which I can respect that. I can respect him as a great player, but he's a Yankee.
But he's a Yankee. Oh my goodness.
It's
of
like saying I
course.
like Mickey Mantle and Babe Ruth. Like they were Yankees. Sorry.
Sorry. Oh my goodness. All right, the National League. We got the East. We have the Atlanta Braves. Kind of close. They're only 3 games ahead of the Phillies right now. The Mets are 6 games back, and then the Marlins and the Nationals have officially been eliminated.
The Marlins were eliminated. Wow.
Yep. So they are officially eliminated as well. The Milwaukee Brewers have successfully
Clinched.
they've gotten a playoff spot. So they've clinched. They're 10.5 games ahead of the Cardinals, 13.5 games ahead of the Reds, and then the Cubs and the Pirates are officially eliminated. I feel like every year I pick the Cubs to like do something, to
Oh, they did something
to
this
give-
year.
to give to like actually make the playoffs.
They did something this year. They traded off all of their players.
Yeah, they gave away everyone.
They
so,
gave away
I mean,
everyone.
and then in the West, the Giants and the Dodgers have clinched playoff spots, which is crazy that they've both clinched
It's a
playoff spots
one-game
already.
difference, man.
Yeah, and it's 1 game difference between making a wild card and winning the division. So that's such a tight race. And then the Padres are 20.5 games back. The Rockies are 26.5 games back. And then the Diamondbacks are officially eliminated. I want to see if the Diamondbacks have the worst
And
record.
still nobody
did.
hit 100 wins.
No one's at 100 wins yet. The Giants are close. They're 97. But the Arizona Diamondbacks officially had like the worst record.
They only won
So
48 games.
Oh well,
No, the Baltimore Orioles have
Orioles
the
had
worst
48.
record.
but they're not as they don't have as many games back though. That makes me happy. I mean, they're 49 games back.
They're not playing the Giants or the Dodgers.
That's just nuts.
You play the Yankees and the Red Sox.
Let's look at the wild card for the National League. So the National League, like we said, the Dodgers basically are gonna, since they clinched, they're in. So it's either gonna be the Dodgers or the Giants, depending on who wins these last couple games.
Yeah.
And then the race for the second spot is the Cardinals have that as of right now. The Reds are 3 games back behind the Cardinals, and the Padres are 4 games back.
I don't think the Padres will make it, even though Fernando Tatis is considered the best player in the game right now.
Yeah, he's kind of like the face of the franchise.
You see him and Manny Machado got into it.
That's what I was about to bring up. Yeah, Manny Machado and him in the dugout start yelling at each other. The funny part is the guy who was recording it with his phone, the fan on it that was near the dugout, as soon as they got done yelling at each other, the fan that was recording it said, "Hey, are you guys on the same team?" I was like, oh my God, that's hilarious. But you could hear Manny Machado basically saying, "It's not about you. Like, go play baseball. It's not about you." And the owner, or not the owner, the coach, the manager, after the game when they interviewed him, said he didn't mind Manny Machado saying what he said, and he said he's a good leader. So I guess Tatis was in the wrong, whatever it was. I don't know officially. I never read anywhere officially what it was about, why they were like getting on each other.
What it sounds like is that Tatis just wants to be the star of the team, and it's all about, he wants it to be all the attention focused on him. But
I mean, Major League Baseball has done a good job at making him feel that way, because
yeah,
I
he's
mean,
the cover for MLB 2K21, dude.
mhm.
Like,
And whenever they show
or MLB the show, that's what it was.
Yeah, and whenever they show commercials for baseball or anything, they are always showing him as one of the people that they show. So I mean, Major League Baseball has made him feel that way and made him feel entitled, I guess, that he's like the star. So with that, we'll kind of make our predictions once the playoffs start here pretty soon on who we think's gonna.
I'm just gonna make a prediction right now.
Oh wow.
San Francisco Giants are the World Series champions.
The Giants, wow. Oh
I think they're
man.
gonna take it this year.
After the Dodgers went and picked up all those people, like
Yep. I think
picked
they'll
up
beat out the
Scherzer
Dodgers.
from the Nationals,
I think
like
they'll beat up the Dodgers.
wow. I don't know about that. I mean, they got Scherzer now. Scherzer could go for a second World Series ring here, and Dodgers could go back to back.
Dodgers aren't going back to back.
If you're already predicting now the Giants, who's gonna go in the American League, then who are they gonna beat? Who are the Giants gonna beat in the American League in the World Series if the Giants are gonna win it all?
The Red Sox.
The Red Sox? You don't even think the Rays?
Nope. I think the Red Sox will make it.
You must be out your mind.
I'm just making shit up with the American League. It's so close in the American League, it's hard to decide. Honestly,
I think the Rays are far above everybody else. So
I think the Rays are good, but I don't know.
They want to avenge that World Series from last year. So
I would love my dream World Series would be the White Sox and the Braves. Like that would be cool to watch. It'd be cool to watch that. Just because they both have like highly talented teams, but they're just overlooked because of the Dodgers and the ML and the NL, and then the Yankees and the Red Sox and the Rays and the AL. Like,
yeah, that's true. They are.
I'd love to see that.
But the Rays were the team that was overlooked last year. No one thought they were gonna get there, and then they came out of nowhere. And that crazy stat line of like the Dodgers had 2 players' payrolls that equaled the total payroll of the Rays of all the Rays players put together. Two players.
Mookie Betts and Clayton Kershaw. Like,
yeah.
It was insane. But no, I think in all honesty, I'd love to. I'm a realist, so I don't think the Mariners are going to get in.
Well, you gotta have some faith.
I'm rooting for them, but I'm a realist. Like there's only like 12 games left, like for most teams, so it's going to be really difficult for them to get over that hump. They've done really good. They've shown really good against teams like the Astros and the Yankees. They've been able to beat them, but I honestly think that the Red Sox are going to be a tough team to beat coming out of the AL wild card.
All right, yeah, I'm trying to see like when the regular season ends. It looks like October 3rd.
Yep.
Yeah, October 3rd is when it's done.
Which is about 2 weeks out.
Yeah, so October 3rd. So they still have some, like you said, like 12 games or something like that. So depending on how the schedules go when they travel and different things like that. So
yeah.
So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I like doing the predictions for that. And especially that close race between the Dodgers and the Giants, it's going to be fun to see who ends up being a wild card after having that good of a record. You end up being a wild card. Like that's just nuts.
That's
like
terrible.
I wouldn't want to be the other wild card team. Like whoever has to face them. Like that's like.
Well, it's like in the NFL when that year that I think it was the AFC North. No, it wasn't the AFC North.
Yeah, it was like the Chargers when it was Phillip Rivers and the Chiefs. Like they both had like really good records.
And it's when the Raiders went too. It was 2016.
Yeah,
when the Raiders went as well. So
and the Chargers missed out, didn't they? Because the Chiefs had such a good record.
No, the Chiefs went because they won the division.
Yeah.
And then the Raiders and Chargers both were like 10-6. And no other team in the AFC was like above 9 wins. So it was the Raiders and Chargers both at 10-6, like having a great season going to the playoffs. Like that, it just doesn't compute. Like how do you have a 10-6 record and you have to go in as a wild card?
Right.
And the Chiefs had 11-5. Like that was the difference.
Yeah, it was interesting that year that it was just like, wow, really, you're gonna be a wild card and like the other team gets like a first round bye. So alrighty, well, how much time did we do? We did a good amount of time on that, so maybe we'll keep going. I was gonna say we could do a little bit of college football as well, but the rankings really haven't changed that much. Number 1 is Alabama still. Number 2, I think it's still Georgia, and then Oregon moved up 1 spot to number 3, and then number 4 is Oklahoma. So
Oregon played a shit team and won 48-7.
well, and then Oklahoma struggled though.
Yeah,
So that's why they switched them. They switched them.
but
It wasn't that
Alabama
big of a
struggled
difference.
against Florida.
That's true. Yeah.
They
yeah.
almost lost that game.
They really did. And who said that they were gonna get annihilated? Someone said it was gonna be a bloodbath. And then this guy right here said, "Oh, it's gonna be pump the brakes. It's gonna be a little bit closer. It wasn't gonna be a blowout, but this guy, I say, yeah." So yeah.
Go ahead and flex on me a little bit.
Some things that I get right. Not too much. There we go. I don't get many things right, but when I do, I drink Dos Equis. No, I don't do that. I always think of that though. Like whenever I say that, I always think that commercial. Like I don't very often, but when I do, I drink Dos Equis.
Dos Equis. Dos Equis, promote us.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, shout out to you guys. You guys need to pay us. Give us some money. All right, well, let's get into the NFL then. Let's start off with the latest game, which was the Monday Night Football game, the Packers and the Lions. So the first half and the second half was like two different games altogether. Like the first half, it was super duper close. The Lions even went in with a lead. Like it was only a 3-point lead.
It was 14-14.
No, they kicked a field goal right before
17-14.
halftime.
Okay.
So it was only a field goal lead, but it was still a lead. Like they went in, like everyone thought that the Packers were going to annihilate them, and the Lions went in with a lead. So everyone at halftime was like, "Oh man, this is going to be a game. Like Jared Goff's going to make it happen like for the Lions and the Packers. Blah blah blah." And then the second half happened, and then Jared Goff decided to golf it all up. So. That's my new favorite phrase is, he golfed it up.
I'm wondering if he golfed it up or if like Aaron Rodgers walked into the locker room at halftime and says, "Hey, we're professionals. Let's prove it. Let's stop acting like a high school football team."
I mean, that defense was not playing well. The Packers, the first two games, defense has been pretty poor.
Well, they lost their number one linebacker too, so Zadarius Smith.
True, yeah. I mean, that has to count for something. So, I mean, but we'll see. I feel like either the Packers defense is going to be on the low end this year, or they're just taking their time with like getting into a rhythm and getting into things. So we'll have to see with that. But anyways, the Packers end up winning big time in the second half. I think it's Goff golfed it up. He had like 2 fumbles, I think, in the second half,
or Rodgers finally said, "Let's relax." RELAX. Because he went off in the second half.
He did, even with the bad weather coming in. Like he definitely did. Aaron Jones was the recipient of a lot of Aaron Rodgers passes. So he had 4 touchdowns total. I think it was 3
receiving, one rushing.
Yeah, 1 rushing, yeah. So he had 4 touchdowns. So Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, thank you for listening to my plea of getting more than 2 points in fantasy football, because I was down by 59 points against Lily, and she's probably pissed right now because I got 60 points and I won by 1 point.
I'm starting
to think,
1
point.
I'm really starting to think that maybe the NFL is listening to ours more than our fans are actually listening. Because you said that about Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones, they went off, and then you said Henry Ruggs needed to step up, and he went off for like, I think it was like 6 catches on 8 targets for 119 yards and a touchdown, and he just burned Mika Fitzpatrick, dude, just burned him.
He just blew right by him,
like in. I actually watched like a slow-mo of that play. I know we're getting off base off the Monday night, but this Henry Ruggs play that he burned for like the 61 yards. Derek Carr did a 5-step drop back. In that 5 steps, Henry Ruggs ran 15 yards.
Gosh, man.
That's how fast Henry Ruggs is.
God,
5 steps, 15 yards.
Already 15 yards, boom, right off the bat.
He already closed the gap between him and the cornerback.
Yeah.
And gone 15 yards down the field.
Gosh.
So Carr knew where he was going as soon as he dropped back. He's set. And he's like, "Oh, Ruggs is gone."
So yeah, so the Packers and the Lions game, like I said, thank you. Now I am 1-1 in fantasy football, so that's good news for me.
Who's
You know,
2-0?
this guy.
Who's averaging 135 points a game?
I don't know. You might just give yourself the kiss of death after
I
that.
don't know,
'Cause, I
man.
mean,
Got Derrick Henry running for 41 points, man.
that was just ridiculous. You know, we'll get into some of these close games throughout the week. So
Most of them were.
yeah, a lot of close games, which I prefer. I like close games. Unless it's my team, then I would rather it be a blowout. But let's talk about some of the games that kind of stood out to us. Then we'll get into our own games, talk about our own teams. Then we can do top five, bottom five, and pretender, contender. So a lot of NFL has a lot of fun stuff that you can do with it. So that's why we talk and do so much with NFL. There's a lot of fun games that you can do with it.
Yeah, and both of us are more passionate about the NFL than really any other sport.
That's true. Yeah,
We like sports, but
we're definitely the most knowledgeable in NFL for sure. So let me pick out one game that I would want to talk about. Let's do the. Maybe I do that game. I don't know. Let's see. Oh yeah, let's talk about this game because then we can kind of talk about what some of the NFL analysts and Fox Sports Radio analysts have been saying and kind of see if we agree or disagree with them. So Chiefs Ravens, big game. Obviously, everyone wants to make Lamar and Patrick a rivalry. The Ravens finally get a win in that. It was a late win. They came back from like 12 points down in the second half, and a lot of people attribute that to Lamar Jackson because he did a lot on his legs as always. I think they're like undefeated when he rushes over 100 yards. It's some unreal number. So in that game, the thing though that stood out to me was when it came down to it, the Chiefs were driving down the field. They were going to kick a field goal and win the game, but the running back
Clyde
Edwards-Helaire, there we go. He fumbles the ball, the Ravens get it, and so the game is over. So, in my opinion, Patrick Mahomes didn't lose the game. Like, he didn't throw a pick, or he did throw a pick in the game, but he didn't throw a pick, like, at the end when they were driving to try to win the game. Lamar Jackson threw a pick six on his, like, second throw of the game.
He threw 3 picks.
Yeah, and I think he threw 2, and one was a pick six.
No, he threw 3 picks.
He threw 3?
He threw 2 to, or maybe he did only throw 2. I thought he threw 3. But I know he threw 2 to Tyrann Mathieu, and I thought he threw 1 to Juan Thornhill as well. I could be wrong.
Let me look at it real quick. Just to see. Box score. Lamar, 2 picks.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, both to
Tyrann Mathieu.
So yeah, both to him. So anyways, basically Lamar after the game saying that the monkey is kind of off of his back when it comes to beating the Chiefs. So he was happy about that, but everyone now is saying, including I'm gonna throw name drop Colin Cowherd, who on Twitter said that Lamar Jackson is the AFC king quarterback. He is the king of the AFC. He's the best quarterback now that he's beaten Patrick Mahomes.
No.
Already he's just like, no. Best quarterback in the AFC.
He is the deadliest running quarterback in the AFC, in the NFL, hands down. Until Justin Fields and Kyler Murray actually break out, because Kyler Murray's scary. That little bastard's fast.
Yeah,
he looks like Sonic the Hedgehog the way his feet go.
I mean, the way he's been playing right now, in my opinion, Kyler Murray is like the front runner for MVP as of right now.
Nope.
I mean, it's only 2 weeks, but
Derek Carr. Derek Carr has more yards. And he beat harder teams. He beat the Ravens.
I'll give you that. Yes, he beat harder teams. That's true.
I will say this a million times. Michael Vick was a quarterback.
Yeah.
He could run just like Lamar Jackson, but that dude had a cannon for an arm and he was deadly accurate.
That's true.
Lamar Jackson is not accurate. Lamar Jackson doesn't have a cannon for an arm. Like, he has one of the fastest receivers in the game in Hollywood Brown. And he overthrows him consistently. He underthrows Sammy Watkins. He underthrows Mark Andrews. Like he is not a good quarterback. Sorry. I don't
There you
care.
go. I still say AFC, the king of AFC is Patrick Mahomes. Until someone dethrones him, that's what it will be. Like he has a Super Bowl, he has an MVP. Yes, I know Lamar has an MVP, but he loses in the playoffs every year. Like
But Roethlisberger has like 3 Super Bowls.
that is true.
I mean,
that
if
is
you want to count Super Bowls.
that is true. That is true. But
The
like,
Roethlisberger's old as shit.
yeah, true. I mean, that's here, like, recently. Like, in the past, Big Ben, yeah, probably was like the dominant quarterback in the AFC, but right now it's Patrick Mahomes. I don't think you can compare. Like, he's able to move when he needs to and run when he needs to. Obviously, he's not going to get the rushing yards like Lamar because Lamar always wants the ball. Like, whenever they do a play action, like, where option where you can like either give it to the running back or you keep it. Lamar is going to keep it every time. He wants the ball. Like he wants to be able to be the one. So I can't even remotely agree with Colin Cowherd or any of the Fox Sports News that I've been listening to. Every single one of them is on the Lamar Jackson train right now, saying that he is the guy. And I just don't see it. Me and Chris have always been on the same page with Lamar. We've always both said that he's not a good quarterback.
He'd be
So,
a hell of a running back for a team.
oh yeah,
It
Yeah.
would be between him and Derrick Henry on who got the most yards. Honestly. No, I will throw this out there. Like, I think you can say Patrick Mahomes, but there's 2 quarterbacks that are coming up really quick on his heels. And that's Josh Allen and Baker Mayfield.
I would go more Josh Allen, Justin Herbert than Baker Mayfield.
I wouldn't say Justin Herbert because he hasn't really proven anything that he can win.
That's true,
What
but like,
Baker Mayfield has. Baker Mayfield actually made the playoffs. Justin Herbert hasn't.
yeah,
but-
that's true.
Herbert's in his 2nd year. Mayfield's in like his 5th. I really think Herbert's going to be like kind of the future of the AFC, I think. But yeah, I would put Baker Mayfield. I would take Baker Mayfield, Derek Carr, Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, Tua. all
Tua
over,
in there.
all over Lamar Jackson.
No,
All of them. And I don't think Tua is that good.
Yeah, no. And with the quarterbacks, especially talking about Tua, just to throw it out there, Tua got injured in his game. Andy Dalton got injured in his game. Tyron Taylor got injured in his game. He's not even going to play in the Thursday night game coming up. So a lot of Carson Wentz getting injured in his game.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. so
Sorry.
I mean, that poor guy, he's so accident prone. Like he gets injured all the time.
He's got glass bones.
Yeah, it's because he doesn't know how to not
Take a hit.
take a hit. Yeah, basically. Because I mean, Aaron Donald had him wrapped up so many times, and then he would just like, oh, like this, or he would like spin around and like pitch it. Like if you're twisting your body and doing all that, yeah, you're gonna like get hurt. Just take the sack. Like don't try to sit there and do something fancy. He got hurt because Aaron Donald was spinning him down, and as he was spinning, Carson Wentz was going like this, and he literally threw it behind him. And so since his body was twisted, his ankle gets wrapped up under Aaron Donald, and he rolls his ankle, and like badly. Like it was like bent like the wrong
Dak
way.
Prescott, it was like a Dak Prescott break.
Yeah,
That's what it looked like.
yeah. I mean, it didn't break, but like
It
Dax
didn't
did.
actually break?
No,
Oh,
no,
wow.
no, yeah.
Brain, huh?
So I mean, it's just it just like learn to take a hit. Like you don't always have to spin out of everything. It made me so mad, like how much he was doing that in the game. And Aaron Donald only needed 1 sack to tie the Rams' all-time leading sack record. So Aaron Donald needs 2 sacks to be the top sack leader in Rams history. That's nuts. that he's going to do that he's going to topple some of the Hall of Famers that have had the sack record for the Rams at D tackle too. Like he's not even doing it at defensive end. So, but anyway, so the one game that you want to point out before we get into our team
Scroll
games,
up on the games.
I kind of talked a little bit about my game.
Yeah. There's one. Panthers Saints. I want to talk about that because what did I say at the beginning of the year about Sam Darnold?
I do not remember, to be honest.
I said being on the Panthers, he's actually going to show how good he really is.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's now 2-0.
No, yeah.
He's now 2-0, and he just beat the ever living crap out of a team that stomped
the
the Packers into the ground. Like the Saints were lucky to even score because the Panthers defense was on top of it, and their offense was just amazing. Like Christian McCaffrey went off. It's nice to see that Sam Darnold is actually getting appreciation because he has weapons. And I told you he was a good quarterback.
Yeah.
And now
he was just on a crappy team.
He was just on a really shitty team. And now he gets that chance to prove it. That's what I like. And I love seeing that I was right about something.
That's the main thing. It's like, oh, well, I mean, I was right about
now,
that.
I'm not saying they're going to run off to the Super Bowl or even make the playoffs.
Yeah.
But just the fact that they beat a division rival.
Yeah.
And convincingly beat a division rival. I mean, they're still going to have to get past the Bucks. That's going to be the scary part. They have to play them twice.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the tough side for them, and that's going to show that Sam Darnold is still in a new quarterback mentality, even though he's been in the league for a few years, because their defense is just ungodly. But just to see him kind of destroy that Saints defense was a beautiful thing to watch.
Yeah, I mean, both of us picked the Saints to win, so yeah, we were not even close with that with that one. Well, let's go over our team games real quick. I kind of talked about the Rams game. The Rams game, we ended up winning 27-24. Stafford still looked good. He was hooking up with Cooper Kupp like nobody's business.
A few times though. He got hit a couple times pretty hard.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't. I think he had like one hard sack. The other one was he hurt his thumb when he was throwing the ball. It hit off of like one of the defender's shoulder pads or whatever. But he said he was good and he was fine. He ended up playing the rest of the game. Henderson ends up like going out like around the third quarter, and they put in Sony Michel. And Sony Michel actually looked good. Like he looked really good. And so I was just like, man, you need to like start swapping them in and out a little bit more. I think they said Henderson is not like out. He has like a rib injury, but they said, he'll be day to day. So I think uptake on Sony Michel, if you have him in fantasy, I would probably put him in because he's gonna have more uptake in this next game. Yeah, and so anyways, so with that, it was a lot closer of a game than I would have liked it to have been. But Carson Wentz was like getting out of sacks like so many times. Like the Rams were always in the backfield, but somehow he would always get out of it, just like when it was Lamar in the Raiders game. Like, it was frustrating me so much. They would get a hand on him and he would just slide out of it somehow every time. Or if he was getting sacked, like I said, he'd do like some dumb throw, so that way it was counted as a pass, but the Wentz goes down with the injury. The backup quarterback goes in to be able to have a game-winning drive in the fourth quarter. And on his second pass attempt, he throws it to Jalen Ramsey, and Jalen Ramsey gets an INT. Ramsey literally takes the ball, goes over to the Colts. He's like, bye. It's over. See you later. Like, I mean, Ramsey, I figured the defense would come up clutch even if Wentz would have been in there. Like it would have gone the same way either way. Maybe not a pick, but we would have stopped him on defense. And like I said, the offense, Stafford looked awesome. Cooper Kupp had like 6 catches for 168 yards and 2 touchdowns. So like him and Stafford are already getting a good connection. Van Jefferson, who was a rookie last year, he's been getting a good connection with him as well, which I like.
Cooper Kupp went off though.
Yeah,
Cooper Kupp was a beast in that game. Like nobody can guard him. Nobody can cover him. It's so awesome. And he's not super fast.
No, he's very elusive though. Like they had another play where it was like 3rd and 13, and they just did a screen pass to him, and he made he just first down, and it was just like, how do you do that? Like
he's white. He shouldn't be able to run like that.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You shouldn't be able to juke like that. And I like the announcers even pointed out, they said, Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods, I think, are the most underrated wide receiver duo in the NFL. Like, I think they're a lot lethal of a duo than people get credit for them.
Oh, yeah.
So,
especially with a quarterback like Matt Stafford. I think the problem was Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Honestly, made them not look good.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you have someone in there with Stafford who has the experience under his belt and, able to go in there and, make the passes under pressure and different things like that. Hang on one second.
Is that my work phone going off? Oh, it's ESPN.
Is it on this?
Yeah, it's ESPN. There's a video playing.
Oh, there it is. I was like,
we just heard a voice on the computer and we're like, what the hell's going on?
Go away. Okay, there we
There.
go. What the? I just heard this small voice.
And we don't want to get what do you call it, copyrighted.
Copyrighted. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so yeah, we can 2-0. We'll see. We got the Bucks next, and I'll talk about that when we do our picks. But moving on to the Raiders, Steelers. I'll give you the props. I picked the Steelers to win. So I mean, your Raiders came up on top.
Dude,
so
every expert picked the Steelers to win.
Yeah.
Every expert.
Because they had just beaten the Bills. I mean,
not a single expert picked the Steelers to score under 20 points.
Oh wow.
Not one expert said that the Steelers would score under 20 points. The Raiders defense under Derek Carr, the best that they've ever been rated under Derek Carr since he came into the league, was 20th. That is the best they've ever been rated. Right now,
even when they made the playoffs and then he got injured,
they were 24th.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't think they were that bad.
The Raiders defense has been garbage for so long. They are a breath of fresh air right now. Like they were in the backfield every single play for Ben Roethlisberger. They sacked him 4 times. Solomon Thomas got 2. Solomon Thomas was a reject by the 49ers. Like, he was drafted by the 49ers. They didn't like the way he played, so they cut him. Raiders picked him up. He's only like 23, 24 years old. He's young.
Yeah.
Max Crosby, 23, 24 years old. Yannick Ngakoue, 25 years old. We have one hell of a defensive line. And then we have the number 2 rated cornerback in the league right now. Like, Jalen Ramsey's number 1. Casey Hayward is rated number 2.
Hey, there you go.
Right? We picked him up from the Chargers. The Raiders are ranked number 9 in defense right now.
Nice.
Derek Carr has the most passing yards in the NFL right now. He is the early MVP favorite behind right ahead of Kyler Murray. For right now. It's only
2 weeks in.
But there are only 2 teams in the AFC that are 2-0. The Raiders and the Broncos.
And the Donkeys.
The Raiders beat Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. Yep. And then beat the Steelers, who went 12-0 last year before losing a game.
Yep.
The Broncos beat Jacksonville. And I don't remember who the other team was that they just beat. I think it was Jacksonville that they beat this week.
Yeah, that was this week.
Who did they beat last week?
Let me double check. Yeah, Jacksonville this week. Was it the Jets? No, wasn't the Jets.
It was a shitty team. I know that.
The Giants.
Yeah, They beat the Giants and the Jaguars. Like, neither one of those teams are playoff teams.
Yeah.
The Raiders beat two perennial playoff teams. Two teams that make the playoffs almost every damn year. The Raiders are the real deal this year. I think if they can keep it up all year, they're going to be money. And to top it off, they beat the Steelers without Josh Jacobs.
True. I know TJ Watt got hurt in the game, so that didn't help the Steelers.
Well, he wasn't doing much anyway. He had one sack on Derek Carr.
Well, I mean, hey, one sack is good. A lot
But
of
he
people don't get
lined
any
up on a
sacks.
rookie. He lined up on Alex Leatherwood.
Yeah.
But when he lined up on Colton Miller, he never got in the backfield. So, no, I think the Raiders have the best chance this year than they've had in all of Derek Carr's career. Honest to God, like that defense, if they can stay healthy, they are a top defense.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And
mean,
that takes so much pressure.
if you stay top 10, I mean, in the playoffs, having a top 10 defense is money.
Yeah.
Like, because usually the number one defense usually doesn't make it to the Super Bowl. Usually. So
last year, the Raiders averaged 28 points a game and went 8-8. They're averaging 27 points a game between their two games.
Mhm.
And I think it's like 28 points a game, actually. It is 31 and 27. So, yeah. Or 26. So, yeah, it's like 28 points a game, 29 points a game. And they're 2-0 against two of the top teams in the AFC.
yeah, I was gonna say some like high offense teams.
Yeah. Their defense finally stepped up. And I'm going to say, like, that defense is the real deal. Like,
Yeah.
they were able to get after Lamar Jackson. They were able to get after Big Ben. Yeah, Big Ben doesn't run that fast, but he's still 6'8", 300 pounds.
Yeah.
He is hard to take down. And they took him down 4 times.
Well, I'm still gonna throw it out there though that Najee Harris basically was like gave a stiff arm from hell against Abrams. Is that
Jonathan Abrams.
Yeah, Jonathan Abrams.
That was
I'm sorry.
a hell of a play.
I'm sorry. He's gonna get like the angry runs like scepter, like from Good Morning Football, like when they do the angry runs. Like,
Yeah.
I don't see anyone that's gonna win that. Like, he
Except
absolutely
maybe Derrick Henry. Because he drugged 3 of the Seahawks players into the end zone,
That's true.
including
That's true.
Bobby Wagner.
That's true. I know the rookie for the Patriots, he drugged like 4 Jets players into the end zone.
Yeah, that's
too.
the Jets. That's not the Seahawks.
True. That is very true.
But no, the thing about Najee Harris, Jonathan Abram got his revenge on that.
Oh, later.
Yeah, it was like 2 plays later. Najee Harris tried to hurdle somebody, and Jonathan Abram just straight, like, shoulder right in his chest, dropped him to the ground.
Yeah, I mean, usually when you get embarrassed like that, you're like, okay, I need to do something to make up for that. All right, well, let's get into our top 5, bottom 5 before we have to take a break here, as our time is getting closer and closer. So
Really quick, I just want
Yes.
to throw this out there that I'm frustrated with the power rankings, because the Raiders beat the Ravens and the Steelers, and they're both ahead of the Raiders on power rankings.
on NFL power rankings.
Yeah.
Huh.
Does not make sense.
Yeah, I was gonna say that doesn't make any
The
sense.
Raiders are number 10.
They're ranked 10th.
Yeah.
Huh.
I think they earned a little more respect than that.
You would think so, but
But it's the Raiders and everybody hates them. It's not my fault we stab people.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, not your fault. No.
So last week you started with bottom 5, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So I'll start with bottom 5.
You start with your bottom 5 first.
Yep.
Do you need me to like scroll through a little bit, or you know kind of who you want to go with, or?
Oh, I know who I want to go with.
Oh, okay.
So-
He's ready. He's prepared.
Not the worst. So we're starting with number 5, the absolute worst.
The
team
absolute
yet.
worst. Yeah.
Jaguars. I know that changed. From me for last week. Dude, they got destroyed by the donkeys. Destroyed. Not just beat, they got destroyed by the Denver Broncos. Like, it wasn't even pretty. Number 4, the Jets.
I already don't like this ranking.
No? Number 3, the Giants.
Well, yeah, no, you're missing hardcore, man.
Am I?
Yeah, you
Am
keep
I?
going though. No, you keep
Am
going.
I?
Yeah, you
Am
keep
I?
going.
Am I though? Um,
So you got, sorry, I didn't want to mess you up on your thing. So you had the Jaguars, then you said the
Jets.
the who'd you say after that?
What did I say?
The Giants?
Yes.
Okay, Giants, yeah.
Number 3 or number 4, Falcons. The only reason that I put them down, like I gave them a little more than the worst team,
Yeah.
is yes, they lost to the Bucks, but they actually put up a fight against the Super Bowl champions.
Did they though?
What was the
Did
score?
they?
What was the score? What was the score? It was 48 to like 30, wasn't it?
Let me see. 48-25.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was like garbage points by the end of the game.
Brady throwing 5 freaking touchdowns.
Yeah, exactly. All right, that's cool. Yeah. So you got Falcons at 4.
Yep.
So what were you at 5 then?
Vikings.
Vikings. That makes sense. That makes sense with that. I'm sorry. So my bottom 5. I'm sorry. Worst team in the NFL. I'm sorry. Falcons. It's got to be the Falcons. Like
Jaguars, dude.
They just no.
Jaguars.
No.
Jaguars.
Look how many points they're letting happen. Their defense is awful. Like
so is the Jaguars.
Okay,
And their offensive line is terrible. They can't protect their prized possession. Mr. Long hair surfer guy.
That's true. They're already in talks of Urban Meyer taking the USC job now.
Oh, he already said he won't do it. He's like, I'm not
That
gonna.
don't matter.
No, he's like, I'm not
Say
leaving the
that all the
NFL.
time.
He's like, I'm not leaving the NFL. I made it here.
They're already in talks of that. But yeah, sorry, 5 Falcons. Yeah, 4 definitely Jaguars, like you said. Like they're just awful. 3 Jets. 4 the Giants. And then 5. I'm probably gonna agree with you with the Vikings, but Lions. I'm gonna go with Lions instead of Vikings. Lions were a field goal miss away from beating the Cardinals. I mean,
The Vikings were.
That's not, the Vikings, yeah. The Vikings were 1 field goal away from beating the Cardinals. So I'm gonna put the Lions down there instead of them. I mean, they got Goff. Like
The reason that I put the Vikings worse than the Lions are expected to lose. The Vikings have a team that they're expected to win.
Yeah, they should be playoff contenders, yeah.
And they're not. They're terrible. They have like this great defense. Danielle Hunter is an amazing defensive tackle. But
there was like no defense in that game.
There was no defense in the Chiefs and Ravens game. That shit was ridiculous.
I think the Cardinals Vikings game was way worse for defense.
I don't know, man. The Chiefs and Ravens. The first 6 minutes of the game, there was 4 touchdowns. And then the first 6 minutes of the second half, there was 4 touchdowns. Just back and forth. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And they're not short, not short, like, oh, I'm going to hit like a 10-yard and they're going to run. It's, oh, hey, this guy's like open 50 yards down the field. I'm going to throw the ball. Like,
no problem.
There was no defense on that game.
All right, well, we'll do top 5 and a little tease. So we're gonna stop it here and then start up the audio again for all our audio fans, and then we'll do our top 5. I think our top 5 will be a little bit different. Our bottom 5 was kind of about the same, just a different order of where to put them, basically. But I'm sorry, Falcon fans. Like this is gonna be a rough year. Like I know you're not used to being in the bottom 5, but.
And they're like 3 years out from being a Super Bowl team.
Yeah, and apparently Tom Brady is still like harping on them, even with being up Bucks on the Bucks now. Apparently he was doing some type of like interview, and he would like went like this, like while he was on camera, he went like this, and like his computer behind him, the time was 3:28. And then he just went like this and covered it back up. And I was just like, really? You're gonna troll them even though you're on the Bucks now? Like, that's terrible. Like,
That's the biggest turnaround in Super Bowl history, though.
yeah, it is. I mean, gosh, yeah. Alrighty, well, let's stop it here and do a little boop, and then you guys still get to see our lovely faces as we get to get ready here to be able to do another segment here. Uploading. Oh, that's uploading. Oh yeah, there we go. Second part. All right. Top five of our top five, bottom five. So I get to start with my top five first, since you started with your bottom five. I'm gonna go number five. Ooh. Man, this one I'm gonna go with the. I'm gonna go with the Cardinals at number five. They kind of dropped down a little bit with me because they almost lost to the Vikings. They basically got lucky. Like Vikings kicker knew how to make a field goal, then they would have won that game. I mean, it was not even a long one either. It was only like a 32-yarder or something like
Do they
that.
still have Dan Bailey?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So I was like, he was like Mr. Consistency
Yeah.
for a long time with the Cowboys.
Oh yeah, he definitely was. Yeah, I can't remember. I'm not gonna look that part up. Number four. I'm going to put. Um, it's hard because a lot of teams have gone 1-1 now. And the Saints are basically out of my top five now after losing to the Panthers. Uh, four. I'll put your Raiders. Why not? I'll put your Raiders at four. I think they can continue making some statements, and they can easily drop out of my top five as well if they
lose to the Dolphins.
Yeah, they lose to some team pretty badly. Number three, I'm gonna stick with my Rams. The NFL power rankings as of today, when I looked at them, still have the Rams at three.
Yep.
So I'm sticking with them at three still. I like it. Let's keep that going, that momentum going. Number two, let's see, number two. Oh, hard to pick a number two team because I know who I want my number one team to be. The NFL power rankings jumped the Ravens up to number two, but I'm not going to do that just because they beat the Chiefs. Like, that's an overreaction. Like,
they lost to the Raiders.
Yeah, we don't need to bump them up to number two just because of that.
I don't even think they deserve top five.
To be honest, even though they lost, I'm still gonna put the Chiefs at number two. I still think they have a great team, and I still think they're a powerhouse. So unless they continue going on a losing streak or doing badly, I'm gonna have them at two. And then number one, I have to put the Bucks. Like, they annihilated the Falcons. Yes, it was the Falcons, and they are in my bottom five, but they're looking really good right now, defending Super Bowl champs. Again, you're undefeated, you're the Super Bowl champs. I gotta put you at number one. So that would be my top five.
That's fair. So my top five, a little different than yours. I would put the Cardinals at number five, of course. Number three or number four would be the Chiefs. I drop them down.
All right.
Number three, the Raiders.
Oh,
because of their defense. The Chiefs don't have a good defense. They have an amazing offense.
Yeah.
But their defense is kind of falling apart.
Yeah.
Number two, I put the Rams. And then number one, the Bucks. Like, have to put the Bucks because Tom Brady's 44 years old. Dude's got 9 touchdowns through 2 games. Like,
yeah.
And they're not short. He's throwing for 300 yards a game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, there's no 44-year-old that's ever done that. Like, there's 13 quarterbacks that have played at the age of 44 or older. Or no, there's 9 quarterbacks. Yes, 9 quarterbacks combined at the age of 44 for 13 total touchdowns. 9 quarterbacks at age 44. Tom Brady's 44 and has 9 already.
Yeah.
Like, and it's only 2 games in.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, talking about like, touchdowns versus interceptions too. Everyone, when we were making the case about Lamar not being that good of a quarterback, he's thrown 4 picks in 2 games.
yeah,
Like how can you say that like he's the best quarterback in the AFC when he's thrown 4 picks in 2 games?
well, the funny thing is, so the Raiders, the reason that I'm putting them number 3 is when they played Lamar. Last year, they had 3 interceptions and 9 sacks.
On Lamar.
No,
Oh.
total
Oh.
for the season.
Oh, for the season. Okay.
For the season.
Yeah.
And Max Crosby had 8 of those. Like, that's how bad it was.
Yeah.
3 picks all season. Well, against Lamar, they got 2 picks and 5 sacks. Like, he's not that good. I'm sorry.
Just put extra salt in the wound there.
Yes,
we just want
I
to
am.
make sure twist the knife.
I don't even think that the Ravens are a top 10 team, to be honest.
Oh man.
Because I was expecting their defense to be a lot better than it is. And it's really not holding up. Like, they gave up 33 points to the Raiders. They let the Raiders back into the game. Derek Carr had 37 seconds to go down the field to kick a field goal to tie to get into overtime. They let him do it. And then in overtime, they thought they finished it. The only reason that they ever got the ball back and the Raiders didn't win right away on the first drive in overtime is because Willie Snead didn't close his damn hands.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. It bounced off somebody's helmet and they got a lucky pick.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it was lucky. I'm sorry. And then they fumble the ball and the Raiders still go down and win it. They gave up 33 points to the Raiders and they gave up, what was it, 30 or 25?
Yeah, I didn't look. I think it was 30, 35 scores.
What they give up to the Chiefs?
No.
Wow, that was stupid. I'll try back to the top.
Right.
35 points.
35, yeah.
So their supposed top 5 defense has given up 34 points a game. So Lamar Jackson can't hold onto the ball. He's throwing picks, and their defense is garbage. They have like a bottom 10 defense right now. So I can't even put them in the top 10 for power rankings. I can't.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why all these experts are.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. We can get into our pretenders and contenders versus pretenders. We're gonna look at all the 2-0 teams and see who is pretenders, who is contenders. So who is going to make it in the playoffs. So the
AFC will be easy. There's only 2 teams.
Yeah, I was gonna say the first in the AFC is both in the AFC West, which is the Raiders and the Broncos. So
I will say, I'll start this one out, and you can start with the NFC because there's a lot more teams.
All right.
I will say if the Raiders continue playing at the level that they're playing at, they are contenders. The Broncos are pretenders. Because put them against one of the teams that the Raiders beat, they'll lose.
Yeah.
I don't think the Broncos can beat the Ravens or the Steelers. Honestly, I don't think the Broncos will beat the Chiefs. I don't think the Broncos will even beat the Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, when they're in the division that they're in, they'll go twice against the Chiefs. They would probably lose both of those games. I bet they would lose twice against the Chargers too.
And twice against the Raiders.
Yeah. So I mean, out of the 2 teams, I definitely think the Raiders are contenders. Top 10 defense. I mean, you can't argue with that. And the Broncos, like you said, they've played against 2 teams that don't have winning records. So
that are 0-2.
Yeah, they're 0-2. Yeah. So I mean, that says it in itself. It's kind of like the Steelers last year. We kept on saying like, who have they played? Like they were 12-0, but it was like, who have they played?
And then they play a good team and they lose.
Yeah, exactly. Then they started losing once they started playing against real teams. So NFC, let's look at that. So the first one is in the NFC South, which is the Tampa Bay Bucks at 2-0 and the Carolina Panthers at 2-0. So I guess I'll start like you said. the Bucks obviously are contenders. I mean, they won the Super Bowl until they show me otherwise. I mean, everyone thought that they were pretenders last year because they were like 7-9 or something like that, wasn't it?
No,
No.
they had a winning record. They went 9-7, I think.
9-7, but they had like a losing record at some point. I can't remember what it was. They always bring it up.
Yeah.
Like it was like 3-5 or I don't know, something
Yeah,
like that.
they were down. Like I think they only won like 2 of their first 6 games. So
Yeah,
I think they were like 2-4.
yeah,
And then they went like 3-4 and then 3-5 and then they just went off.
yeah, exactly. So it was just like, everyone thought they were out of it, and they obviously won the Super Bowl. So I mean, I think with having the off season under Brady's belt, they didn't have an off season last year because of COVID. He didn't get to play with or train or play with any of those guys. Like now that he's like officially gotten to know them and he knows what strengths and weaknesses, he's gonna go off. I mean, he already threw the 5 touchdowns, earlier this week. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be dangerous now that he has more experience under his belt with these players. Panthers, I'd like to think that they're competitors, but I think they're pretenders. We'll see. They beat a good New Orleans team, but the first team they beat was the Jets. So I mean, one game doesn't give me enough confidence to call them contenders yet. So when we keep doing this throughout the season, maybe more into the season, Panthers fans, yeah, you can be contenders, but as right now, I had to put you in the pretender pile. You're in the maybe contender pile. You're in the maybe.
And I can actually agree with that. Like Bucks, you have to say they're contenders. You
Yeah.
have to. Because it's Tom Brady, dude. That dude does not age. I saw this funny picture. It was Aaron Rodgers compared to like at a press conference right after his game on Monday, and Tom Brady after his game on Sunday. And it was like, just keep in mind, Tom Brady's 6 years older than Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers looks like 10 years older than Tom Brady.
Yeah, he looked like so bad, and then Tom Brady's like this. Oh,
I think you sent that to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
terrible.
It was terrible. Yeah,
But-
how much better looking he looked than Rodgers.
Well, he's on a strict diet and shit, and he's got a supermodel wife, so
And I don't eat bread, according to the Subway commercials.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, as far as Carolina goes,
Yeah.
I think if their defense can stay healthy and play like they did against the Saints, and McCaffrey can stay healthy, and Robbie Anderson can stay healthy, I think they could be contenders. But time will tell. So for now, I have to put them as a pretender.
yeah, you had to put him in that category at least for now. So, and interesting enough, you were saying the press conference with Aaron Rodgers. Just to throw this out before we move on to the NFC West. It was funny after the game that they were asking him, about, oh, did you like being able to prove everyone wrong and come out and have such a good game and different things like that, and he basically was just like, oh, well, I don't care about all the BS noise and blah blah blah, and he was just like, yeah, it was a good win, and then like he took like a couple seconds, and then all of a sudden he just like winks, like he paused and waited, and then like winked, and he like yelled at a reporter for like interrupting him. Like he was like in the middle of like talking, and a reporter tried to like ask a question, and he like looked at the reporter and he was like, I'm not done yet.
Yeah.
And the reporter was like, oh, I'm sorry. And then the reporter was like, oh, continue. And then Aaron Rodgers was like, oh, I can't remember what I was saying now. And like the reporter was just like, oh, well, I'm really sorry. I don't know. His just whole demeanor, his whole everything is just like, I don't want to be here.
I don't
Like,
give
he
a shit.
Like he's ready to be on a different team already. It's week 2. And he wants to be on another team. Like it's not good for Packers fans. I'm sorry. Sorry, Jen. Hopefully she didn't hear that, but maybe she'll hear it later
No,
if she
she
listens
knows.
to it. Like he doesn't want to be there. It's not good. It's not good for you guys. Like I don't know, but it doesn't mean that you guys might not make the playoffs, but it's one of those things where it's not good. If there's not good chemistry, if there's not good vibes, like in the locker room, everyone knows there's tension, and then he's up at the mic just telling reporters like, "Oh, I'm not done yet. Like, don't interrupt me." Like, It's not good. That's all I gotta say. All right, so NFC West. So 2-0, San Francisco 49ers, Los Angeles Rams, and the Arizona Cardinals. So man, three teams all at 2-0. Seahawks barely missed it, almost 2-0, but they let the Titans come back and let Derrick Henry run all over them.
Derrick Henry is a monster.
Yeah,
I was
he is.
freaking out, dude, because the first game he got me like 12 points, like first week.
Yeah.
And then because I have him on fantasy, #1 pick. So second game, halftime, he's got 6 points. So I'm like, what the hell is Derrick Henry doing? Like, he's a rushing champion. Nobody can really stop him. What is he doing? And then the second half, he goes off for like another 170 yards. He had almost 200 yards.
He had 200 all-purpose yards.
Yeah, he had 200 all-purpose yards, but he had almost 200
just
rushing yards.
Yeah, just rushing.
I think he had like 180 something rushing yards.
Yeah, 186, I think.
Yeah, and he had 4 touchdowns. 4. Like, he didn't even have a touchdown in the first half.
Yeah, it was he single-handedly put the Titans back in that game. So
he carried Bobby Wagner, like one of the guys that's known to hit hard and be able to take people down. Like, he's always been strong in the run game. He's strong in the passing game. He's a great linebacker. And Derrick Henry just took him for a run. He went to tackle him, and he tackled high, and Derrick Henry kept going for like another 10 yards. I'm like,
I'm gonna carry you like a backpack. It's all right.
And Bobby Wagner's a big boy.
Oh yeah. So out of the three teams, 49ers, Rams, Cardinals.
I think the Rams and Cardinals are contenders, and I think the Niners are kind of like the Panthers. Like, they're on that cusp of being a contender. I mean, I did say that they would make the playoffs. I said 3 teams would come out of that division.
Yeah.
And those are the 3 teams that I said would come out of that division.
Yep.
So I think it's going to be close. I think the Niners, as long as they can stay healthy, will be contenders. Last year hurt them so much because they had like the number 2, number 3 defense the year before in 2019, and they were amazing.
Coming off the Super Bowl loss, yeah.
Yeah, they were freaking amazing. And then everybody on their defense got hurt. And then Jimmy G got hurt. And it was like they didn't really have much of a team. They had Raheem Mostert. That was it.
Yeah. And he's out for the season now.
Yeah.
So
but they're still winning without him.
Yeah.
So that means that the team staying healthy, the rest of the team, the defense staying healthy is the key to the Niners being a contender. It really is, because they have a great defense, even with old ass Josh Norman.
Yeah, true. I mean, I'll agree with you. Cardinals, they kind of made me a little skeptical after, almost losing to the Vikings, but I still think they're contenders. They beat up on the Titans. The Rams, I still, even being biased, being a Rams fan, I still think they're contenders. I think Matthew Stafford has turned that team completely around. And the defense is still pretty stout, if you ask me. So,
well, yeah, any defense with Aaron Donald and
right.
Jalen Ramsey,
right?
You have the best defensive lineman and the best corner in the entire game. Like, if your defense isn't top 5, your guys are screwed.
That's true, and they just make other players around them better too. They point out, if Donald's getting double teamed or triple teamed, that's freeing up other people to go after the quarterback.
I will say, like, a guy that I love watching right now, besides Aaron Donald on the Rams, is Leonard Floyd.
Yeah.
Like, I love watching that dude's passion. Like, he's like, Donald's got covered. I'm going.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's getting sacks this year. Like, he's tearing it up.
Yeah, so I mean, the 49ers, I got to put them as pretenders. I know you think they're going to make the playoffs. I don't think they will. They barely beat the Eagles because the Eagles were dominating that game most of the time. And they let the Lions freaking come back when they were up by like 30 against them. So I think they're pretenders 100%. I'm sorry. I mean, yeah, that defense is still good because they have a lot of healthy people, but I have no faith in Jimmy G. I really don't. And, Mostert is out. So I really think, in a division like this, they're going to struggle and they're going to get beat up by these other teams that are contenders. So
Oh, absolutely.
yeah,
But name a team outside of that division that can actually beat them.
outside of the division, the Bucks.
I think it'd be a hard fought game with the Bucks because of the defense.
Yeah,
Their defense would get to Brady.
if the Packers,
Depends on which one you get.
which Packers team you get, yeah.
Week 1 or week 2.
Yeah, exactly. Or week 2, second half. Like it's just like if they get week 2 first half, then yeah, they're gonna struggle against the 49ers. So I mean, yeah, I don't know, like I said, and a lot of NFL analysts have said that these teams are gonna beat up on each other. That's why they are saying that, it's not a big deal because the Rams will play the Seahawks twice, and they'll play the 49ers twice, and they'll play the Cardinals twice. So they're like, yeah, they're just going to beat up on each other more so than other teams.
Yep.
So
I think the NFC West is the toughest division. They all have great defense. They all have great offense. Honest to God, like all 4 teams.
Yeah.
I think all 4 teams are actually contenders at any point in the season.
Yeah.
And that's the only division you can actually say that about.
Yeah, and the Seahawks, I mean, even though they lost that game, they're not 2-0. They could be contenders as well. So
I think I will throw a surprise contender out there. That's 1-1 right now.
All right.
The Eagles.
The Eagles, oh, okay.
They look good.
Yeah, they've been turning things around a lot more surprising than people give them credit for. A lot of people were basically counting them out, and yeah, they were going to get destroyed every game, and they put it to the Niners. Like it was a close game. So, yeah. Well, the Eagles. I feel like the Eagles and the Cowboys are gonna be the top ones, even though I predicted the Washington football team winning it. But
I think I did too.
I think you might have. Yeah, I think you might have had them winning it.
No, I think I actually said the Eagles.
Did you? You might.
I don't know. We'll have to go back.
We'll have to go back and watch it and listen to it. Alrighty, well, that takes care of our pretenders and contenders. We'll do more once the season gets more into it and we get more better records than just 2-0. So let's get into week 3. Picks of the week. NFL picks of the week. Picks. NFL picks of the week. That's right. You want to start doing the intro? You want to?
No.
You have a better idea of doing the intro?
No.
Okay.
I'll just.
Okay. I don't want to hear it then.
You didn't hear anything. I just.
I
love this guy. Nuts.
I am, yeah, it's true. I'm off my rocker. So I don't have the updated scores for our picks, unfortunately. I wasn't able to count that up. I might be able to count that up really quickly while we're still recording. Let me take a look here. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So I'm 23 and 11, 12. So 23 and 12, you are 11, 12. 23 and 12, same, 6.
Yeah, we do the same. You made up a couple on me there. Because I picked the Jets.
Yeah, so we're tied. We're tied. So there you go.
Garbage. Oh, bullshit.
You are now released from your duty of having to always not pick against the Broncos. If you want to pick the Broncos, you can pick the Broncos. Because Mel will get mad at me for bullying you again into not picking the Broncos.
I hate the Broncos, but I really wanted to pick them against the 2 worst teams in the NFL.
Yeah, exactly. So it's okay. You can do it now. If you think the Broncos will win, you can do that.
I'm gonna laugh if they don't win another game this season. Just because you said I have the freedom to pick them.
Just because you can pick them now. All right, well, let's start with Thursday night football. Well, real quick with our picks too. So we both got our locks and our upsets, both of us. So
Yep.
we both got all of the right. I think it was the first time in like a long time that we both got the lock and the upsets right on both.
Yeah, we normally don't.
Yeah,
It's one or the other that we miss.
It's one or the other that we miss. Yeah. So let's see. The Thursday night football is the 2-0 Panthers versus the 1-1 Texans. That's what it was. So I like doing the ranking, like their records, because I think that helps for doing picks and upsets as well. We got one more week this following week, and then after that we'll be able to do upsets based on this season's records of last season. So one more week. So I'll let you go first. I'll be the
I
gentleman.
went first last week.
Did you?
Yep, because remember I was
Because
ahead.
you were ahead.
Yep.
Now we're tied.
You made up ground, so you get to go first.
Well, I am gonna go with the Panthers with 110% of my being, because Tyrod Taylor's not playing. He was balling out, especially against the Browns. He was keeping it close against the Browns until he got injured. But not having him and the way that the Panthers played against the Saints, McCaffrey, he's gonna go off, baby. He's gonna have a game.
200 yards, all purpose.
Yeah, like 2 touchdowns.
I'm gonna stay the same. I'm gonna put the Panthers. Honestly,
Panthers.
Tyrod Taylor getting hurt, and
That's
then,
a big
and
thing.
then Deshaun Watson not playing, or sorry, the quarterback we must not mention.
Harry Potter, like, you must not be named.
right now, that's who he is. But he's not playing obviously because he's dealing with all the crap. Like, okay, can't say it's crap. If he did it, he did it, and he's a messed up human being.
Yep.
If he didn't do it, then shame on the girls for saying it. But I'm not going to pass judgment until I hear from a federal court that he's guilty.
Yeah, guilty or not guilty. Yeah.
But I agree with him not playing the game. I agree with him making him sit out.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm glad that the team decided to do that.
Yep.
All right. Next matchup is the 1-1 and 1-1, both 1-1 Bills and Washington football team.
I get to pick.
Yes.
Lock it up.
Oh,
Bills.
locking it up. Oh.
The Washington defense looks scary, but honestly, the Dolphins defense was up there with Washington last year.
Yeah,
And
true.
the Bills walked all over them, 35-0. And Taylor Heineke's like, he got his first win in the NFL, which is awesome, but I still don't think he's ready for the big time. I think he's a good backup.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm definitely going with the Bills as well on this one. They looked great against the Dolphins. They got that bounce back win, got their swagger back, and they're gonna prove it again against the Washington football team. I want like this cool like sound effect when we do like our locks, where it's just like a prison cell like thing, like or whatever.
He
Like,
just punched me in the head.
no, it didn't. Yeah, right. Calm down, baby. I don't care if you're bigger than me.
Calm down, boo-boo.
All right, the 1-1 Bears versus the 1-1 Browns. Bears coming off the win against the Bengals, which we both got wrong. But if freaking Joe Burrow wouldn't have thrown 3 pass attempts, all 3 picks
In a row.
Yeah, one of them being a pick 6, and the Bengals still almost won. They still almost won. Nuts. But I get to pick first, so I'm going with the Browns on this one. Yeah, they're gonna just keep that momentum going off of their win against the Texans.
Yeah, I'm going with the Browns as well. I don't think the Bears the Bears are good, but honestly, the Browns are much better than the Bengals.
That's very true. Let's see. The 1-1 Ravens versus the 0-2 Lions. So you get to go first.
Upset alert?
Oh, it's the
No.
Lions.
I'm gonna take I'm gonna take the Ravens.
Ravens.
I'm not stupid.
That is very true. And guess what? I'm not a stupid person either. So I'm gonna lock it in and pick the Ravens. They are gonna destroy them. They're gonna run all over them with Lamar, the supposed best quarterback in the AFC. Yeah, I know, quotation marks with that. So, but I'm gonna lock it in. Gonna lock it up and guarantee win for the Ravens. Boom. Lions are gonna be 0-3.
I'm gonna feel terrible if the Lions actually win that game.
No,
Because Goff hasn't looked terrible in any of the games.
the second half of the Packers, he did.
He looked terrible in one half.
Yeah, one half. Yeah,
That's
one
it.
half, one half. All right, let me see here. Where is that? Here it is. All right. The 0-2 Colts versus the 1-1 Titans.
You go first.
So I am gonna go with the Titans, of course. They're gonna tighten it up, as they always say at their stadium. The Colts, who even knows if Carson Wentz is even gonna play? Like that, the backup that went in, his second pass was a pick. Like that's not good news. Titans, Henry's gonna have a monster game again and just run all over them. So if you have Henry, you're starting them, and the Titans are gonna win this game. I maybe should have put this as my lock instead of the Ravens, but I like the Ravens too.
Okay, I was checking something.
Hey, no worries.
Because I wasn't sure who won the AFC North last year between those two teams.
All
and
between these two.
Yeah, if the Colts had won it, I was gonna put it as my upset for the Titans to win.
Okay.
But the Titans won it last year, so the Colts were the wild card. So I'm going with the Titans as well. Derrick Henry's gonna have another huge game against them, and he's gonna carry DeForest Buckner this time.
We're just gonna call out each defensive player that Henry will carry each game
Or
on his
throw.
back. Yeah. Yeah.
Because he likes to throw guys
Just
too.
gonna launch them like into tomorrow. The 1-1 Chargers versus the 1-1 Chiefs, big division game.
Chiefs are upside down, but
I don't care.
so much.
I do care. All right. Yeah, you get to go.
So this game, the Chargers will be the best defense the Chiefs have faced already this year. So I mean, this could be a good upset.
It could be, yeah.
And I know you're going to pick the Chiefs, where Patrick Mahomes is. Patrick Mahomes lost his first game ever in September on Sunday
That's
night.
true.
He's never lost in September, and I think he's pissed off about it. I'm thinking Mahomes is going to throw for over 400 yards in this game.
Ooh, there they are throwing
It's
the ball.
going to be a bomb.
Throwing the ball.
It's going to be a bomb quest. It's going to be a high-scoring game because honestly, the Chargers have a good offense.
They're playing at Arrowhead too.
Oh yeah, so yeah, the Chiefs are going to take this game.
Yep, I'm going with the Chiefs as well. They're gonna be throwing them bombs, those Mahomes bombs.
But I see Herbert throwing for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, the Chiefs defense is not their strong point. That's for sure. So, let's see. Where is it? No. Oh, it's up here. All right. The 1-1 and 1-1, both same record, Patriots and Saints. I get to pick for this one. Man, this one's a tough one. Patriots coming off a win, but who did they beat? They beat like the Jets. Yeah, they beat the Jets. Like, but the Saints coming off that hard loss against the Panthers. I'm still not a believer in Mac Jones yet. I mean, he's still got a lot to learn, and they got rookie running backs. I'm going with the Saints on this one. I think the defense will bounce back, and I'm not a big fan of Jameis Winston. I mean, everyone was like, oh, he's the front runner for MVP after week 1 because he threw 5 touchdowns.
On 140 yards.
Yeah, and then he laid a freaking stinker against the Panthers. So I've always said Taysom Hill should be in there, and I'm still gonna stick to my guns that he should be in there. I don't like Jameis, but that's just my opinion. But I think Kamara bails him out, runs on the Patriots.
I'm struggling with this one because I think the Saints are the better team, but what Jameis are we gonna get?
That's true.
I think this is gonna be the game where they bench Jameis.
Ooh, oh, that's a hot take right there.
I think they're gonna bench Jameis and bring Hill in because he's the better quarterback after he throws 3 picks, including 1 pick six.
Oh,
So
bold prediction. I love it.
I'm gonna take the upset on this one and say the Patriots win it.
The upset alert. Bong, 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 bong. Set down population Patriots. Man, calling the upset. I love it. All right. Now, scintillating matchup, because we always have to have at least one scintillating matchup.
An 0-2 and 0-2.
The 0-2 Falcons versus the
good God.
0-2 Giants.
This determines who's the worst team in the NFL. On this game, I think the Giants actually win it.
Oh,
because
wow.
the Falcons are the worst team.
No, you said the Jags.
The Jags are, but the Falcons are right there with them.
Oh, my goodness. So
I think
he's
the
picking the
Giants.
Giants.
I think the Giants win, but I think it's going to be like a 24-21 game.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I'm going with the Giants on this one too. I'm sorry. I have the Falcons as the worst team in the NFL, so how can I pick them? They are actually my worst team, not his. My worst team in the NFL is the Falcons. So I'm going with the Giants. I gotta go with them.
Can I just say, my chair is comfortable.
So comfy.
I love
I
it.
feel so comfy. The 1-1 Bengals versus the 1-1 Steelers. I need to kind of look real quick though on some of these matches to see what's going on here. Okay, I can maybe do it that way. I don't know. We'll see if you let me do it that way. We'll see if you let me get away with it. All right. So what did I say? 1-1 and 1-1, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Bengals and Steelers.
It's a common theme right now.
1-1, 1-1.
Yeah.
I get to start. That's right. And Steelers, they come off a good win and then they lose to the Raiders at home. They're playing at home again. Yeah, they're playing at home again against the Bengals. But the Bengals, man, they threw that game away against the Bears. It was god awful. So I'm gonna go with the Steelers. I think they're gonna take this one, get a bounce back win against a easier defense. Because the Raiders have a top 10 defense.
What's funny is actually, now that I think about it, when the Steelers went 12-0,
yeah,
their 13th game was against the Bengals. That's who beat them.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because remember they kept leveling Juju Smith-Schuster every time the ball came at him because he was out dancing on their logo.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
They went off. They were pissed.
They were so mad.
I think the Bengals are mad about losing to the Bears, and I think the Bengals are going to take this game over the Steelers.
Wow,
I honestly think they're the better team over the Steelers.
Ooh, okay. Dang. Love it. Going outside the box. All right. The 2-0 Cardinals versus the 0-2 Jags.
Oh my God, really? I have to pick this one?
Yeah.
Dun dun dun! Surprise!
No. Nope.
Hell no. The Cardinals are going to destroy the Jags. That's Chandler Jones getting another 5 sacks.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. To be honest, actually, that could.
Right.
That's so bad. Oh my God. Yeah. Both of us are going with the Cardinals. Yeah, definitely going with the Cardinals. Murray's going to have another hell of a game and push, as like I predicted, push his MVP candidacy. So that is what is going to happen in that game, make him even more of a contender for
Really, this game? Like
the 0-2 Jets versus the 2-0 Broncos.
who the hell have the Broncos played?
The Jaguars and the Giants and not the Jets. Wait,
Who have they played?
It is. I mean, that's what we said with the Steelers last year. I get to go first. I don't have a beef with the Broncos. I have lifted his ban. He does not have to pick against the Broncos. But I'll go with the Broncos because the Jets are one of the worst teams in the NFL. So Broncos are gonna go 3-0, baby.
Zach Wilson is gonna go off against
Stop
the
it.
Broncos.
Stop it.
Oh, he is.
Stop it.
He is.
He's thrown like 6 picks already in 2 games.
I know, but he's gonna go off against the Broncos.
All right.
But the Broncos are still gonna win the game because they have Cortland Sutton, who's gonna just go off. So yeah, I'm actually picking the Broncos.
Stop picking the donkeys.
I have to
The
go swallow my
donkeys.
vomit.
He cares too much about winning the NFL picks this season. He wants it. He wants the prize.
Yes,
Like,
I do.
He wants it.
It's that pop bet and the swap bet.
Yep.
You see him flinch?
I like wake up in the middle of the night sometimes, just like like feeling my face. It's okay. Let's see. Next game.
It's a slap on the ass. I'm not gonna slap your face.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, then I might enjoy it. The 1-1 Dolphins versus the 2-0 Raiders.
I get to pick.
You.
Or
yes.
I picked because you picked
Yeah.
the donkeys first.
Yep.
So in this game, since 2001, the Raiders have beat the Dolphins twice.
Oh.
They have been the Raiders' kryptonite. They really, really have. This is the game that scares me the most of the upcoming games because, like the upcoming games, the Raiders actually have a chance to go 8-0.
Oh wow, there you go.
Like they play the Giants, the Jaguars, the Jets.
God.
So
Lucky.
they're going to play them and have a great record. And I think this is the year that they get over the hump with the Dolphins. Like Dolphins don't have Tua because he's hurt. He has 2 cracked ribs, I think. I think that's what they said it was. But Tua's not going to play. And the Raiders defense is just going to get after him because the Dolphins offensive line sucks this year. Like every team they played has gotten after Tua. So,
True.
and the Raiders defense is amazing this year. So they're going to get after whoever the hell plays. And it's going to be a tough game for the Dolphins. The Raiders get out with this win.
The Raiders. Yeah, I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna go with the Raiders. They're gonna go 3-0, and yeah, Tua is kind of day to day, so it'll be interesting. But even with Tua playing, it's gonna be hard if he's got an injury. It's
You're
gonna be
not
hard for
taking
him.
it as your upset?
No.
Oh,
Oh.
I thought you'd take that one as your upset
Oh.
because that one technically could be an upset because the Dolphins made the playoffs last year. Or no, the Dolphins were just out of the playoffs, but they had a better record.
They had a better record than the Raiders.
Mhm.
I will take that as my upset pick. The upset pick, to be honest, kind of a little bit of a spoiler, but the upset pick I was thinking about doing was the Rams and the Bucks. Even though they're both 2-0, I mean the Bucks won the Super Bowl, so I figured the Rams beating the Bucks could be an upset, but I didn't know if that would really count or not.
It really could because the Rams had a better record last year, but the Bucks won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but I like this better. I'm gonna go with the Raiders as my upset pick. I love it. I'll take that any day. Any day. Give me my 4 points for my lock and my upset. Look, now he's helping me out. He don't know what to do. You don't know how to play this game. You gotta be ruthless.
No, I'm just getting you.
Gotta be
I'm getting you to
ruthless.
root for my team.
There you go.
Here.
Secretly. Oh,
Let's
there
put
we
the hat
go.
on.
There we go. There you go. See, I'm picking the Raiders.
The Raiders.
It's kind of like the college guy when he puts the mascot when he picks the team. I'm just all right, the Raiders. I'm picking the Raiders. Too bad you don't have a big Raiders guy that I could put on.
I actually do.
Oh well, then there you go. We should just start doing that whenever I pick the Raiders. Just put that. And the next matchup, like I was saying, the 2-0 Bucks versus the 2-0 Los Angeles Rams. So I get to go first, but like I said, kind of a little spoiler. I'm picking the Rams. I always have to go with my team, to be honest. I don't think I ever pick against them unless it's really bad, and I think that they would lose. I mean, I think if we still had Goff, I would probably pick the Bucks. But with Stafford, I just have this newfound sense of our offense is going to be able to step up and do something.
You actually have faith in your team.
Exactly. And ironically enough, even with Goff last year, we beat the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
We beat them last year. So with Matthew Stafford, we should be able to definitely beat them. But It's gonna be close because, like I said before, Tom Brady has now had an off season with all of his teammates. Like he had more time to be able to get better with his players. So I'm not saying it's gonna be an easy win, but I think the Rams will sneak it and take it, especially playing in LA.
All right. Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Who have the Bucks beat?
What
Who have they
here?
beat this
This
year?
this year the Falcons and
Worst team
the Cowboys
and a shitty team.
barely beat them.
Yeah.
That's true. So yeah, they haven't really played against anyone tough yet.
They haven't played against a defense like the Rams yet.
Yeah, true.
The Rams are a lockdown defense. I'm taking the Rams on this one.
Oh, he's gonna take the Rams too. I think he's doing it because I picked the Raiders.
No. I think they get after Brady and they mess him up. They get him out of his groove.
Aaron Donald's got his number, man. He's gotten after Brady like every time they played each other,
Yep.
even in the Super
He
Bowl.
usually gets like 2 sacks a game against him.
Oh, how amazing would it be if Aaron Donald breaks the all-time sack record for
Against Tom Brady.
for the Rams against Tom Brady? Like that would be money. That would just make my day.
I think Brady would give him the ball and say, "Congrats."
Good job. If not, he'll definitely break the record against the Seahawks because I swear he has Russell Wilson's number. He hit so many sacks against Russell Wilson. And speaking of Russell Wilson, we have the 1-1 Seahawks versus the 0-2 Vikings. Who, man, the Vikings having a tough go right now, having to play the Cardinals and then playing the Seahawks right after.
My pick?
Yes.
I think the Seahawks take this. I don't even think it's like Russell Wilson's too good, and DK Metcalf hasn't even been involved in the offense. He's caught like 8 passes for like 120 yards total between 2 games.
Yeah, it's been more Tyler Lockett. They've been doing a lot of.
Has gone off.
They've been doing the deep ball to him a lot.
And I think Metcalf has a huge game.
All right.
Chris Carson has a huge game, and I think they destroy the Vikings.
Already awesome. Yeah, I was kind of a little because I mean the Vikings, they did take it to the Cardinals. They only lost because the kicker couldn't kick a freaking field goal. But I'm still gonna go with the Seahawks as well on this one. I think they are gonna be able to win, and then the 0-3 Vikings are in a steady slope of not making the playoffs. Because 0-3, you're definitely the odds are not in your favor to make the playoffs after that.
So really quick, we forgot we had a shout out. We had a comment on our last podcast, the picks of the week.
Was it?
Yeah, remember Cody Howard? Forgot to do that. He was like, "Did you all root for my Bolts?"
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. We did forget to do that. We apologize. The next matchup, the 1-1 Packers versus the 2-0 49ers.
My pick?
Yes.
What Packers are we gonna?
Oh no, it's my pick because I picked the Seahawks just now. That was my
that's right.
pick.
Your pick.
But I agree with you. Which one are we gonna get? And the 49ers haven't really played up against anyone that tough yet, especially when it comes to offense.
The 49ers have had Green Bay's number.
That's true. The defense has always gotten to Aaron Rodgers, especially in the championship game. But I think it's a whole different mentality. I'm maybe a little biased just because being a Rams fan, but I'm actually going to go with the Packers. I think this is going to help solidify them going forward as like the momentum. And I've already said that I think the 49ers are pretenders. So I'm going to go with the Packers, and they're going to keep the momentum going.
See, I think both of these teams will be in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. Like I said, the 49ers defense has always been able to get after Aaron Rodgers. They did kind of revamp their line a little bit. They have a pretty decent offensive line. And the 49ers have no answer for Devontae Adams at this point. So it's just going to be Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones show.
Yeah, and I don't think the 49ers have enough on offense, to be honest.
I don't think they do either, even though Green Bay's defense isn't that great. I'm going to go with Green Bay as well.
Ooh, going with the Packers as well. Man, we don't have too many that we've gone against, I don't think, in this time.
We have 2.
Dos.
Becky's.
Again. Give us money. So the Monday night game is the 1-1 Eagles versus the 1-1 Cowboys, which we were kind of talking about this as, being, kind of who could win the division, when it comes to this. So this is their first division meetup. They'll meet up again later in the season. They're playing in Dallas.
And I think the Cowboys defense is garbage. It's atrocious. They're terrible, just like they were last year. Absolutely horrible. Oh, there goes that
commentary again.
There's that damn commentary video again.
Boom.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the Eagles on this one.
He's going with the Eagles, man. The Cowboys barely come away with a win against the Chargers. I did call that upset. But poor clock management by the coach. Like he's being scrutinized so bad about that. The Cowboys coach,
Yeah.
with the clock management and everything. Dak's still doing Dak stuff. Zeke is still not being Zeke. They're talking about Pollard being more explosive now and him being the guy.
I'm so tired of seeing this from Zeke.
Yeah.
Feed me.
And you got that dumb tattoo that said that too.
Sorry, that's a discount double check.
Discount double check. Man, I'm so torn on this one because like Dak is playing so good and he could keep him in it. The wide receivers for them are so good. The Eagles defense is playing a lot better. Hurts is playing pretty decent.
He's got targets.
Yeah.
Because Rager and Smith have both been great both of the games.
Yeah. I'll go against you though, just to make it interesting. I'll go with the Cowboys. I'll say the Cowboys are going to pull it off and win. That way we can make it more interesting, make it more of a competitive when it comes to picks. So I'll go with the Cowboys. They'll ride that momentum of winning against the Chargers. So we'll say, hey, and they're playing in Dallas. So I mean, it always helps when you're playing on your home field. So, so yeah, that's the games and the picks of the week. We, as always, appreciate you guys with the listens, with the views on YouTube and everything. We're gonna always try to get more content out there. Try to get more listens. We want to spread the word, spread the love. Tell your friends and family, all that jazz. We're gonna try to get better video editing stuff going on. I mean, there's loads of stuff that we would love to do, but it just makes it hard, unless you're like you have a lot of money and you work for ESPN or Fox Sports or whatever, and then you can just tell them like, hey, I want you to like put this in the video, or I want this sound effect, or I want this or that. It's hard when you're just doing it like on your own, but we'll try in the future and make things more fun. Even for us, I think it'll be more fun just to have like sound effects and different things like that. Like I just want a boo thing where I can just press it and it just goes boo. Like whenever I just disagree with you, I just press it and just boo. So as always, we always wrap things up the same way with a nice little bow.
Earl Thomas, still not signed.
Still not signed, and I don't think he will be. I think we're going to be saying that for the rest of the season. So,
unless somebody really gets hurt.
True. But we're going to try to do this every Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday. It'll be one of the days, Monday or Tuesday, whichever days we're free. So that way you get our picks for Thursday night for the first game and going forward for the rest of the weekend. So until next week, we will catch you guys on the flip side.
Later. Peace.